Hello, the internet, and welcome to the Dash Force News Three Amigos podcast, your premier source of random, incoherent, or semi-coherent ramblings on Dash, cryptocurrency, the universe in general, and just a heck of a good time. How are y'all doing?
Excellent.
This is say hi to Brian. Brian's our resident mastermind, Troll Patrol King, OG Dash OG. And then there's Mark Mason, Mr. Hustle, Mr. Make It All Happen, and worries he didn't do well enough when he always does more than well enough. So just the three of us today because we are all guested out for the moment. We thought we'd take a little breather. We thought we'd just focus on what really is going to make America great again, or whatever. So yeah, hi guys. It's been one heck of a not heck of a week, hasn't it?
It's been interesting week for me. I don't know. I've been busy this week, but yeah, news-wise, it has been kind of blah.
Yeah, I didn't really think about this going in, but when you said Mr. Hustle just then, you just made me think of Amanda, and obviously Amanda gave her open sort of letter this week as well. So yeah, that was sort of unexpected, but I've got so much respect for Amanda, and I genuinely believe I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for Amanda, because she took a chance on me and actually brought me into the sort of Dash inner circle, and things kind of like snowballed from there. So I did speak to Amanda. I won't say what I say because it was a private conversation, but basically I did say to her, look, the Dash Force store will always be open to you. You know, we owe you a great debt of gratitude, everything. So whether you want to do articles, you want to come on the Three Amigos podcast and chew the fat, whatever, we'll always be here for you, whatever you want. So so I don't think it's a time to be like sad. I think it's a time. Look how far we've come these last 6 months in Dash. Look at the community. There's so many like members and different groups and stuff doing their own thing. So it's an exciting time. It's hard to keep a track of, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely. It's one of those kinds of things where just like silently like looking on at the community and what it is, it's like my work here is done. And then just like move on. It's like I remember how small time Dash was when she got involved. I mean, I didn't really pay too much attention to Dash back then, but I still was like, that was one way that Dash was punching out of its weight class, and to a great extent, it was very Amanda centric for a while, based on the merits of she brought a whole lot of attention and quality to something that was kind of fledgling at the point. And then now we're going on to the level where the whole tide has risen to reach that mark. And so
I think some of us saw the vision long ago, but yeah, she definitely brought in a whole nother group of people and let them see what some of us saw. I don't know why people didn't get in on board earlier. Everybody had plenty of time, and she got on, and brought in people when the price was still relatively low, $2 to $3. So yeah, people can't complain that they weren't able to get in, because man, it was $2 to $3 not very long ago.
Talking of money, if you guys haven't been to Dash Force News today, shame on you. But Joelle did an article on the price of the whole crypto price reaching a whole new all-time high, and it looks like Bitcoin's on a bit of a rip at the moment. It's going up.
I have a word on Bitcoin specifically. Based on that, the chain split was that one big thing that everyone has said, oh, you just cannot afford the chain split. For the longest time, any thoughts of a hard fork, or we should hard fork Bitcoin to upgrade the protocol in any way, the whole criticism was you can't do that or you're going to ruin everything, have a contentious chain split, it's going to be terrible. And then it seems like the chain split's one of the best things that's happened to Bitcoin lately. I mean, the price really took off for Bitcoin once it was able to just focus on itself, and there was not this constant uncertainty. And now Bitcoin Cash is a $5.5 billion coin, right? It's doing very well. It's got a bunch of recent integrations and a bunch of users trying to go for it. It's got cheap fees, unlike the couple bucks that Bitcoin still is. So it seems like that chain split was a very good thing, sort of like with Ethereum. When Ethereum split from Ethereum Classic, in the short term, it helped out both coins. And then Ethereum's been fine. Now, I think that's I think what that means is diversification is key, because before everyone wanted Bitcoin to be everything, and that was sort of holding it back. And now the more, to a certain extent with certain limitations, the more cryptocurrency diversifies, the more specific elements are able to just flourish, right? You don't have to be like, well, I want to do my thing, but I kind of have to wait until something happens. Like, no, now everyone can do everything that they want to do to their maximum potential, and it's great.
Yeah, I was thinking the Bitcoin Cash was going to do something, but the more I think about it, the more worthless it seems to be. People have, watching the Bitcoin price itself go up, people seem to be happy with their centralized future, basically with the Lightning Network, or semi-centralized, federated, whatever you want to call it. And the Bitcoin Cash has not gone up. I don't know what it's going to do. I mean, we offer everything they do and so much more. The only reason they're so high is because they had split from Bitcoin. I think it's just going to continue to go down. I don't see much of a future for Bitcoin Cash. I thought maybe, but I don't think so now.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's doing well today though. It's gone up nearly 15% in the last 24 hours. But having said that, I think there's still a little, it's like honeymoon period, because it essentially, as people did describe Bitcoin Cash as free money, right? So I'm sure there's still some strong hands like holding on, just hoping something's going to happen. But I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but in the past week, especially UK side for me and online, I've noticed Bitcoin being quite heavy in the mainstream media. And so I don't know how that's played it in a role. Actually, in the all-time high article today, I was talking to Joel in the chat, and I was just saying that this old discussion's coming up again in the mainstream, where obviously because of the whole North Korea issue, without getting too political, that's made the dollar price go down. Whenever there's any sort of uncertainty, that always happens. But what these sort of channels go to, gold used to be the safe haven, and now the mainstream narrative at the moment is like Bitcoin is the new safe haven, forget about gold. And
yeah, I saw that on CNBC. Yeah, lots of CNBC stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know how much that's playing into this, because Bitcoin seems to be doing well.
Fake
I think that,
news.
Yeah, I feel like that was my Trump impression. But I mean, like, I think there's a tiny bit. I think there's a bit of fatigue with Ethereum. I think everyone was ICO'd out for a long time. There just seemed like there was an ICO every day, and then obviously when Ethereum we had that bloodbath week where the whole price went down with Ethereum, and it had that huge knock-on effect for everyone else. I think people are starting to be more cautious. And just to go back to what Brian was saying originally, I think there's a lot of fresh blood in the crypto space that doesn't necessarily know what's come in before. Maybe they're not so interested in the so feature centric. It's just that they've seen it on the news, and it's that kind of FOMO, fear of missing out. They just want to get in before it goes up any higher. So, but it's hard to tell. It really is, to see, how much of that market really is playing into that. So,
no, I've seen it. I've seen the progression, or the de-evolution, really, of the crypto space. It used to be a lot more intelligent people in the space, and I mean, there's always dummies like me, but there's a lot of younger people coming in that really are clueless, and they're on YouTube making videos about what coin to invest in, and they really they have no idea what they're talking about. And yeah, I've been doing some troll patrol in there, and then just recently it seems to be just proliferating all these kids basically doing these YouTube videos about what coin to invest in. And sometimes Dash is mentioned, and some of those are smarter people, but there's so many that just don't have a clue to what they're talking about. And they're not long-term investors either. They're just looking to get on whatever the next hype train is, get in, get out, move on. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know how much this is going to play into it. I've not always been interested in money. It was kind of just prior to the financial crisis that I kind of went on my whole journey of self-discovery about finding about precious metals, exploring fractional reserve banking, all that fun stuff that comes with it. And then obviously the progression to cryptocurrencies. But one thing that I've just really thought about was that we've got this whole generation now, probably for the last 10 years, that have had no interest rate, any savings accounts or anything. So for them, they're kind of like, they've had no savings accounts, no money to put away for anything. So I can see young people getting involved in this could just get like starry-eyed and just think, oh, this is a quick get rich like scheme sort of thing. And I think people really need to do their due diligence. And I think you're right, there's a lot of people on YouTube now that are doing like analysis and talking about coins, and they're taking key points without actually doing the research themselves.
They don't understand the fundamentals. Yeah. And I know people get mad when we talk about like the millennials and stuff, but it kind of fits right in with it, with their kind of the instant gratification, everything at their fingertips, and they're getting into crypto and seeing these huge, fast returns. And it's kind of different from us that started like in the gold and silver, and we're used to seeing very slow, returns. But yeah, the millennials are, all about the instant gratification, and yeah, so it kind of works with them. There's these huge, just massive returns and excitement.
Yeah, risk management.
I sort of a slightly modified perspective on that exact same truth of, I don't think it's necessarily just young people getting in and doing stupid things. It's more people young to the cryptoverse, just they get in and then they get bought into something. And then it's sort of like the gold and silver bugs who were just, or like Peter Schiff, God bless him, is just still does not like Bitcoin at all. And he posted something, there was some article about how gold might have some cancer curing properties or applications. And then he's like, he tweets it out like, yeah, I bet Bitcoin can't cure cancer like this. Just like, dude, are you for real? Like, but no, Bitcoin can fund stuff that does cure cancer. I mean, it's created so much wealth. How do you not see it? So there's like the old guard that's like, oh, magic internet money, or that they just got into Bitcoin, like, oh, these stupid altcoins. I want something that's immutable. And then it's like the opposite, just opposite ends of, I would say, idiocy is that, and then just, it's, it's like November 2017 coin. They just call it after the month because it's gonna be big in the month, and it's like just stupid things people just buying. But the real reason is, if you're like an older fellow and you've had a career, right? You probably own property. You've been able to like talk to your financial planner and buy all these stocks, and you've had opportunities to create wealth, like lasting wealth. And if you're a young person, you're just trying to work in your screenplay while you're working at the fucking coffee shop. It's like you don't have a very much of an investment type future. But if you can throw like $100 into some ICO that then it just goes like a million times up, all of a sudden you got $1,000 and I can flip another thing. All of a sudden you think you can invest and see your money go up rather than just drain away into student debt. So I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think you're right about just people new in general to crypto. The reason I guess I focus on the millennials is because they are the ones that are big on YouTube. Those are the young cats. But you see older people like on Zero Hedge and stuff that are also just as clueless.
Yeah. I think it's risk management. I think that's essentially what it comes down to. I did a bit of trading and stuff beforehand, and I think a lot of these people coming to the exchanges, now you can lend out money as well for people to trade with, and just margin trading, I completely disagree with for like lots of newcomers coming in. Same for like people, well, in the States you call it trading options. In the UK we call it spread betting. But it's like, that's tax-free here. But even with that, right, most people going into that, they have like seminars and programs on Forex trading and stuff that you can watch beforehand. And they say, look, you know, there's different books, there's different strategies, there's different approaches to doing what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be from a trader's perspective. If you're into precious metals, you've probably heard the term of dollar cost averaging, right? So it means just, you know, buying a small amount over a period of time, and it just averages out instead of just jumping all in at just different periods of time and then being upset because the price has gone up or low and you've only just bought at one specific time. If you buy strategically over a set period of time, it averages out, so you'll be doing a lot better. But also with trading in general as well, there should be certain set rules, especially if you're margin trading. You should never put a trade on. You should know your entry and exit position before you enter that trade, and you should never use more than 2 to 3% of your whole portfolio to make a position. So this is just common sense things to me. But if you're new and you've just signed up to a new exchange, it's all bells and whistles. You can lend out crypto, you can margin trade, all that sort of stuff, and you're just curious, and it's all, you know, you're all flashy lights and bells and whistles. You can lose money very fast. So just risk management, just do your due diligence. Yeah. And yeah.
A lot of these kids and just people in general are going to get murdered by people like that spoofy character that David Dinkins wrote about on the Cointelegraph, who, you know, they're playing with like $60 million in Bitcoins, and yeah, they can do the spoofing and the wash trades, and which a lot of that did also used to take. I don't see it much anymore, but in the early days of Dash and Darkcoin, we did see a lot of that type stuff. Now the price is kind of higher and the wealth is spread out more. We don't see it as much. It's harder to do, but I guess they could do it if he's got $60 million in Bitcoin. They could still do that manipulation. But yeah, I think a lot of these newbies are gonna get burned, and that's gonna kind of be that's you know, they're gonna it's gonna turn them off into crypto in general. But I guess enjoy it while it lasts, people.
Yeah, you know the common saying, like when the taxi driver tells you to buy a stock, that's when you know it's the time to sell, right?
Yes.
And you know, generally speaking, we don't have mass adoption yet in cryptocurrency. Although I am starting to see the signs. I had some old school friends, and a lot of them aren't really interested in any of this stuff. But I noticed I saw one of them just randomly on Facebook, like in one of our posts the other day, and it was one of my friends that I never thought would be interested in this sort of stuff. You know, just doesn't have the time for it. It's just family guy, hard worker, just doesn't have the time to research, or you know. And so I'm starting to see signs of things that are, you know, happening. And so let's see what happens. Oh, the other thing as well is Bitmain. People keep talking about Bitmain. So China's been predominantly Bitcoin. It's been so Bitcoin and Litecoin centric, especially in mining hardware, and mining is huge in China. So the fact that Bitmain, the biggest, you know, players in the game, have come out with the Dash mining hardware, and it's shutting down the website. People are trying to, you know, buy stuff, and they're just selling out instantly. Think about that. I'm thinking about what's the impact going to be of China on Dash in a month or two's time. I know not everyone watching this will be interested in mining, but in terms of like the top 10 coins in the cryptocurrency, Dash is probably the most profitable. Coin Wars is a good website for that. You'll notice like the top 10 in like most profitable coins are mostly like completely garbage. They're like, you know, things like cannabis coin and all that sort of things. Like, but Dash is up there, and obviously, like Wall Street, they don't trade on morality; they trade on profit. So miners are going to mine what's the best thing, and China are, you know, they are the Don Dodders. They run the mining game. So if Dash is now like the coin to mine, and they're producing, you know, the leaders are bringing out hardware, what's that going to tell you? If they're mining this coin, then I can see focus from the exchanges and operators in China shifting their focus to Dash, because that's where people are going to be at the ground level.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how the crypto space has changed too. I remember in the beginning, it was like, oh, what is Bitcoin? You can just send them around. And it was like creative use cases for Bitcoin. And then there was the time of everyone was freaking out over anything you could buy with Bitcoin. I can buy this loaf of bread with Bitcoin. Oh, I could buy this. I bought a car for Bitcoin. I got everything. And then that sort of petered out a little bit when the fees started to get up. And like cryptocurrency, right? Not digital assets, but digital currency seems to be, no one seems to care that much about that anymore. I mean, if you look at all the big things that are pumping, first it was Ethereum and then other Ethereum type clones and just all these, and then tokens are big now, right? Just all these like little stocks you can trade and things like that. When they realized that the smart contract hype was still hype, that you don't really have too many viable products working on smart contracts right now. I mean, in the future probably, but so all that hype cycle, now it's all into tokens. Oh, I can buy this token and this is an investment thing for that and all this. It's like, and people have sort of forgotten the basics. I mean, the reason, the girl who brought you to the dance, right? So it's just like you're focusing on all these fancy things, all these pumps and get rich quick type things, and you just forget. And in the meantime, you're still using fiat currency. And it's like, whatever happened to this could change the world. You could completely upend the global financial system. Like that's kind of like a footnote in the conversation. That's not kind of lost to the goal. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why Dash is sort of the dark horse of crypto, is because people just stopped paying attention. They kind of got distracted. Oh, let's go over to this fancy thing. And sort of a allegory I used to describe all that is when you get into like martial art training in the beginning, you start to, oh, I got these solid moves, I'm good. And then over time, you're like, well, let's see what the fanciest kick I can do. I can do this big spinny thing. I can do this. I can do this sweet ass combo and all this kind of stuff. And then eventually you blow through the hype, and always the older masters and stuff, they always go back to the basics. Let's go back to white belt form, right? Let's go back to what everything is built on. And I think we have a little bit of this hysteria going on right now where people are chasing after the new shiny object, and they're forgetting like the sound fundamental of why do we even care about crypto to begin with?
Yeah, I see the same type thing you were talking about with karate, with skateboarding back in the day. Yeah, same type thing. One thing, going back to what Mark was saying about the taxi driver analogy, that, yeah, I mean, we are seeing more stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff on CNBC. And that's just kind of the tip. I mean, CNBC is kind of a geeky place for financial geeky people, but there was a segment somebody posted somewhere on Rachel Maddow's show, and it had that other woman on there. I think it was Joy Reid, who, but I guess they were obviously attacking Trump with, Russia, talking about how Russia's getting into the Bitcoin mining. It was basically just an attack on Trump, and Bitcoin was just one of the things that they use. So it is getting out there a little bit, but we also got to think that, it's just getting out there on like CNBC. They're talking about it more. They're talking about Bitcoin. So people haven't even, gotten into Dash and all the other stuff. So our glory days are yet to be seen. It's coming. They got to get into Bitcoin, and then they'll kind of go down the list and discover, hey, look, this one, is a lot better. And
yeah, it's also been interesting to see the different waves of hype. Like, how do you get it? Like, first with Bitcoin, everyone found out about Bitcoin, they just started mining. Everyone was mining. Everyone was Bitcoin mining. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So everyone's just mining Bitcoin, and then they start mining everyone is, what can I mine? How's the best way to mine? And then it became, oh, there's these things that are pre-mined, right? And you have like a whole entire or partial pre-mine, and then you buy them cheap off an exchange, and then you hope they go up. Then there's that wave, the second wave. Then you go to the third wave, which I think we're in like the ICO wave, which we just started, which is the big one. And I don't know if you call it a wave, but it was definitely an undercurrent, was the staking undercurrent, where everyone saw with it, you got a Dash Masternode, you pay like $5,000-$7,000, and then like a few months later, you're making like $800 a month for life or more every month. And then there's like, well, what coins can I buy that I can just stake? I can just hold on to, and then they grow. And yeah, I don't know if that's over. I haven't seen too many other Dash clones pop up that are like, you can just stake all these coins and make all this money.
Hopefully the ICO wave is cresting. I think it is, because the SEC is fixing to start cracking down, so it's going to be less craziness. Hopefully there'll be just better quality. I'm sure it's not over, but hopefully the quality improves. More serious players, not just everybody and their dog throwing up an ICO. And yeah, it got too crazy. I mean, it still is. It's just, yeah, it's fundamentals. Hopefully at some point we'll get back to fundamentals, because yeah, they're definitely not. People aren't paying attention to fundamentals. They're just looking for the next hype train.
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon evolution, I think, is going to be. Everyone says evolution is going to be a game changer, and yeah, it is. But like stepping out of the hype for a second, I think that the internal Dash hype, I think evolution is going to start a wave of Evo knockoffs of, well, look, this is the one like simple, elegant thing that you can just do your entire financial experience out of. And so people are going to get, it's like the Coinbase thing. Like, Coinbase is huge now, right? They just, what do they call them, a unicorn, because they raised like over $1 billion or something like that.
They can't handle the traffic right now, can they? It's just every month it just seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think that when evolution comes out, all these coins are going to be competing over user experience, right? They're going to be, well, this got the sleekest thing. It's going to be so easy and user friendly, and it's going to be the next little shiny thing to play on. It's like, it's going to be the Pokemon Go currencies,
Well, with us, the good thing about us is that everything we're doing is at the protocol level. Nobody else is doing. They all got these centralized or semi-centralized, solutions. Everything we do is at the protocol level. It's decentralized, and I always preach decentralization. In the end, is going to win over centralization. It's just going to be more efficient. They're not going to be able to compete. So yeah, we've got around the prize, and it's nice and steady. The price has been steady. I wish it was crazy and $300-400, but that's fine. Nice and steady, wins the race.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at the CoinMarketCap listings, right? You got, out of the top 10, there's a few newcomers, right? Dash is currently at number 9 if you rank it there, right? Now, all you have to do is the CoinMarketCap.com, right? Under the little currencies tab, you go filter. Yeah. non-mineable, and pre-mined, right? Get rid of those and just go to like
we're true 5, cryptocurrencies. I think, or we were. I checked that just the other day. I turned on the shitcoin filter, and yeah, I think we were number 5.
The shitcoin filter. It's pretty much true. It's like number 1 Bitcoin, then you go Ethereum, then Bitcoin Cash, then Litecoin, then Dash, then you go Ethereum Classic, Monero, BitConnect, Zcash, and Bytecoin. A couple suspect coins there, but at least they're like coins. At least they're proper cryptos and not just some token. And over time, that's the thing, is people started seeing cryptocurrency in the rankings. And I'm definitely going to have to be definitely gonna have to write an article on this, right? But people started seeing the rankings as just what shows up on CoinMarketCap and how much is it worth. And people forget that they're not the same things. It's like a lot of these new tokens are some kind of asset investment. They're not decentralized cryptocurrencies, right? They're not distributed ledger networks, anything like that. They're something completely different. And so at some point, we're going to have to start using the, as you call it, the shitcoin filter. It's not necessarily to filter out shitcoins, but to filter out digital assets from digital currencies, because they're not the same thing by a long shot.
There is other sites like, I think, CoinGecko, who has they use different fundamentals. I don't agree with all the ways that they measure things or how things are ranked, but it is at least, a little bit, they do look a little bit deeper than the market cap. Because I mean, we've seen like Aurora Coin and all these come and go. Even MadeSafe, which has some fundamentals. I mean, it's way down. Steam It. I really like the technology. I don't like their initial launch and distribution. That's probably still what's dragging them down, because they've got a really cool platform and everything. But yeah, their market cap is really low.
Ooh, I actually had a thought that popped into my head, right? About Steam, not Steam specifically, but those distributed content platforms. Recently, so spent a lot of time on YouTube. I found a few different channels have been running into issues. Like this one guy used to show people all these different like Taekwondo moves and other kicks and stuff. He was just like the kick tutorial guy, right? Quan Kicker.
Quan Kicker. Yeah.
You know the guy. Hey.
Yeah. He's just started a gaming channel as well, hasn't he?
Yes. Did you see the addendum under that? The reason he started the gaming channel is because YouTube started to demonetize all his fighting videos, all his technique videos. And so he's losing his income because they just basically took his livelihood away because of that. And then I also follow Bro Science Life, which is another good one, right? And that they also recently, a couple of their videos got demonetized because, I don't know, it's just like fitness and physical things. YouTube's starting to exert some crazy draconian policies. And so where are content creators of these kinds of things going to go? I mean,
Steemit has that new YouTube thing that I saw that they're trying to do.
Yeah, which also a library, LBRY. They have a very slick-looking platform. I haven't really looked into them too much because it seems like it's all video content, and I already do stuff on YouTube, but I might start reaching out to some of these, especially like martial art channel things, and just seeing what we can do to get them on platforms like Library and Steemit, because that's going to be the next big thing. Because think about how big censorship is now. Think about like the Google things, and then WikiLeaks, and just the elections, and just all the different coverage and fake news, and just all this kind of stuff. It's when the public catches on that crypto can solve this.
Ooh. We should probably give a shout out to our newest member, Albert. I'm gonna butcher his name, Arianes. Say it, Joel.
Yes. Alberto Arrayanes.
Yeah, he's been working with us for a while, doing various things, Discover Dash and stuff, but he is now officially on the payroll and officially Dash Force. So congratulations to him.
Yes, he says, "What up, fellas?" Yes,
he's in the chat.
Of Wall of Coins fame, was sticking it out through with all the when Wall of Coins first got integrated, all the customer support, all the I don't know how to do this, how do we do that, and he's definitely been. Had a very positive attitude and very good work ethic through all that, which is what attracted us to him for Dash Force. And fun fact, Robert Janito, the CEO of Wall of Coins, he has always been a big fan and friend of the Dash community, and he has a very unique communication style, very like, dude, awesome, a lot of hearts and smileys kind of thing. And when I first saw like Albert, the Wall of Coins support person, doing all that, he seemed to talk in the exact same way. So at first I thought Albert was a sock puppet account for Robert. I thought so, and then, until I actually met them both in person, I'm like, oh wait, no, he's a real person. So anyway, shout out to Albert for kicking ass. If you go to discoverdash.com, you see we got, I think, 258 listings, and like at least 100 of those have been added by Albert, if not more. So he's been kicking ass doing all that stuff. Yeah, sorry, Albert. You just popped your bubble. Just that blew your mind that I thought you were a sock puppet at first.
Yeah, we're starting him off kind of slow. He is going to do the Discover Dash stuff, add listings, and then eventually he's going to help me with the meetup contest and various merchant adoption things. And then he will be doing tutorial videos to help also with merchant adoption and whatever we need. He's got his own YouTube channel where he does a lot of those tutorial videos, and then he'll just kind of branch out and grow from there.
Yeah, let me actually find that channel so we can give a little plug.
Yeah.
I just wanted to switch lanes, talk about something else. I saw a few people this week in the community, and there's been some excitement with the Charlie Shrem Dash Pay card, and then also lots of people have been sharing photos and messages of 10x, whether it's the wallet or the card as well. And some people are like, this is really bad for crypto because it depends on the sort of legacy banking system. And I was thinking about it, and I do think it plays an important role, because a lot of us all in crypto, it's all indoors, right? Because we're over on our computers, all that sort of stuff. And when we do talk about it with friends and family that aren't in that sort of thing, don't really get to see it. So I think people actually going out with all these 10x cards or Dash Pay card when that comes out, and actually instigating that conversation, and when they're in social settings with people like, hey, what card's that? Oh, I'm paying with cryptocurrency. And the more that becomes widespread and acknowledged, I think it just plants more seeds in more people. So even if there's any element of doubt or question or hesitation in friends or family, and if you go to a coffee shop or the pub or get a round of beers in with your mates with your card, and you say you're buying crypto, people can physically see that happening, wherever you go. So I think it plays a really, really important role. So if you are one of those people that are, very anti crypto debit card and stuff, I say it's playing an important role in the bigger picture. And
it's a bridge, yeah.
Yeah. So don't. It is what it is. If it's not for you, don't get it. But like for some of us, it works out pretty good. So
yes. Do we ever get confirmation on that dollar fee? If that's not,
Right. Okay. Yes. So just to reiterate, so basically on the Charlie Shrem interview, he said that in the online transactions, there's no fee. Okay. But if you purchase something in store, there's a physical $1 fee that's capped. So it'll always be $1. And there was lots of feedback and questioning with people that had 10x cards and say, well, with 10x, there is no dollar fee. That fee gets passed on to the merchant. The customer doesn't pay it. And someone was kind enough to provide an image of how 10x break down their fee cost structure behind the scenes. I emailed Charlie about that on last Friday, saying, look, here's some feedback. If you can speak to Payzer and resolve this, I think you're onto a winner, because you can post your card within the States. So you've got the market share there, where 10x is having some issues with that. And obviously it was his bachelor party weekend, but he did get back to me earlier this week, and he acknowledged the email, and he said, thanks for the feedback and stuff. So he is aware of it, and he does know now that there is a difference between his Dash Pay card and 10x in that fee area at the moment. Keep in mind, the card is cheaper on Charlie's, and other fees are cheaper as well, and spending limits are higher as well. But yeah, that dollar fee issue seems to be the one thing holding people back. So it's not concrete, but maybe by the time it launches, he may be able to resolve that. So fingers crossed, because the better the competition, the better it is for us, the end consumer, right? So.
And what's the 10x? Is it still third quarter? I guess that's they're still.
Well, people are getting cards like everywhere. It seems people in
not America.
Yeah. So all states wise, I think it's still like no go unless you get it posted to a physical address outside the States, and then have like a friend or family member then repost it to you. I think that's your only option.
Uncle Tao or Uncle Coin Gun. Yeah, I had to get my.
Well, I mean, like that's what worked for me, because I grew up in Mexico. I'm a Mexican citizen, and so I just get my cards there.
Uncle Joel.
Even though I'm living in the U.S. right now, it's like the thing is you get U.S. denominated cards, so it doesn't really matter where they're shipped to because they're denominated out here. But yeah, it's a great. That's the thing about all these like gateway methods, and people are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hodl. I'm just gonna get cryptocurrency. I'm not gonna sell. Why would I spend it? I want to keep it." It's like, okay, well, let's look at this. Say you have 10 grand. That's all your money in your world. Say you're a millennial, a broke ass millennial with just 10 grand. That's it, or like 1 grand if that. But anyway, let's not be too sad. So you put 8 grand into crypto, and you have 2 grand for like rent and food and other expenses just circulating around, and you're like, I don't want to spend. You're thinking, I don't want to spend that 8 grand on crypto. I don't want to spend any of that because that's going to go up and my dollars aren't going to, right? That's the whole Gresham's law, right? The good, bad money drives that good. However, let's say, what if you can spend that? What if you can spend your crypto on half your stuff? Then you get to have 9 grand in crypto and only 1 grand in dirty, nasty fiat, right? Because you can afford to hold more because you can afford to spend more, right? So like I have almost 0 fiat at any point, like just negligible pocket change, right? Because I'm here in New Hampshire, I'm blessed. I can spend just about everything. With a few little workarounds, I could basically spend Dash on just about anything I need. And so then just I have it all in that, and I have nothing sitting around in fiat. And that's why I care a lot about where I can spend Dash, is because the more places you could spend Dash, the less you actually have to sell for things. And I think a lot of people are missing out that, like, what happens if, that's the beauty of the 10x card. You don't have to just load it all the time, right? For example, I'm not pimping out 10x. I haven't used it. But for example, you just have Dash in the wallet and then it just gets converted.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you remember? So it was a Shakepay, and it was our friend CoinGun again. So a popular YouTuber that goes by the name of Crypto, Zero at the end. He went to the Miami North American Bitcoin conference in Miami, and before like any of the speeches, he was just going around, just video recording like all the vendors, all the stands, and he came across the Dash stand, and he started up a conversation. And Jeff CoinGun was one of the people there. And he came down from Canada, and he was saying actually having a Shakepay card for him was beneficial because he could put his Dash on the Shakepay card and then come to the States, not have to worry about exchange fees or losing money, exchanging currency, and he could just use his card to spend as he please and then not lose out any money and then go back. So if you're someone that travels a lot or goes around a lot, or if you're going on holiday and you're worried about even going to an ATM abroad, you've got extra fees, and then you always lose out on the exchange rate as well in addition to that. So there are many advantages to using these cards.
Yes, and it's the interesting thing about Dash because of like instant send. So I've used a Wirex card and a Shakepay card so far, right? The Wirex card, it loads pretty much instantly, like within a minute or two, but you have to have the crypto in their internal wallet first. So say I have Bitcoin in my Airbits wallet, and I want to put it on the card. I have to send it to my Wirex app wallet and then do load card, and that gets loaded into fiat. And so that was killing me back in the days when I was trying to live off of Bitcoin because, I'd say, I'd load it, and then like 3 hours later, the Bitcoin transaction hadn't confirmed, so I could actually put it on the card. And so Shakepay doesn't have the internal wallet. You just send it and it loads it onto the card in fiat, right? And the good thing about Dash is because Dash is Dash and it's going to go through really quickly. I remember two different times I loaded it. Once I was in the car and I just parked and I'm going to go in to get coffee, and I'm like, oh, I should probably put $20 or so on the card. So I go put the Dash on, and then I get in line, and before I go to order, it's on the card, right? And another time I just went down, I loaded, went down to the bathroom. By the time I went back up, it's on the card. And so even though with Dash, you can just load like just a couple of dollars on the card just for the purchase, right? And it really helps. You can keep everything in fiat. Now, Bitcoin, that would not be advisable. With something like the Bitcoin card, you want to load it like the night before or something, or just for the week. And then that means a lot more of it has to be in, again, dirty fiat.
Yes, there's a question in the live chat from Stan Distortion, and it's card related. So he says, can both exchange, but well, sorry, bad English here, both ways on Charlie's card too, both Dash to fiat and fiat to Dash. Yes, you can buy and sell as well, as in addition to having a card on the dashpaycard.com. Hey guys, let's see if the website's live. I've not actually checked this week, so you might have updated it. Dashpaycard.com. Let's have a look. Let's see if he's updated it.
Also, another shout out to Bitcart. I don't know if I've ordered anything or not, but I haven't heard any complaints or anything in Slack. So if people aren't complaining, that means it's everything's running smoothly.
Don't you love that? You don't know that it's running smoothly. You just like no one's bitching, so it probably is running smoothly.
Yeah.
Well, look, they're getting so much business. Well, I'd like an update from Graham because I think he said so. The past 2 previous months, he's been getting over $100,000 worth of business, and I can only imagine that he's been getting more and more business as the Dash price has gone up, right? So the more price goes up, more purchasing power people have. So it would be interesting to have an update on that because I reckon it might be higher now. That'd be a good story to report on. Guys, I've just checked. Charlie's website is not functional at the moment. So all the back end is working and it's ready to go. He's just waiting for the green light and then things will go live. And if you missed the last podcast or the Charlie Shrem interview, the launch date is scheduled for the end of August. So there's no set date, but it'll be before the end of August. So not too far away.
I just finished that last night, actually. I'd started watching it before, and I hadn't had time. But yeah, last night I finished watching it. And then, yeah, we're talking something about how you put preferred customer on the name, and that helps protect. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good, cool hack. I never thought about that.
Did you like my "shut up and take my Dash" comment?
yeah. I guess I haven't really noticed people doing that, but I guess they can. Yeah, he was saying you don't want to put like somebody's name because they could card you. But I guess if you put preferred customer, yeah, that should work. Yeah, they can't really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's great. And the great thing about that is because obviously to the platform you have a login. So even if your card, you can customize it to say anything. But however, your login will be, so if it's Charlie Shrem logging in, his login is going to be Charlie Shrem, but his card can be preferred customer, as the example he gave. So even if someone stole your card or you lost your card, then people don't know what your username is or details or anything else from that. So that's a very neat safety feature. The one thing that I took away from that, though, in the comments, people seem to be more excited about being able to buy and sell Dash on the platform than the card itself. I didn't really anticipate that, but yeah.
It's difficult to buy Dash, so.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with buy it via card. There's very few crypto buying for credit card type methods, and that was one thing that Amanda touched on in one of her videos was Dash how her uncle wanted to buy Dash. He couldn't. Because he wanted to buy it with he just wanted to enter his card info and buy it, but there's like no options for that. So anyway, that was interesting.
Yeah, that's what I think. This is where Charlie's been quite smart here because he has a history with Payzer, and they've been in the game for a long time doing the cards, and they've got all the regulation, all the financial services in all the countries, all the paperwork that's needed. However, Charlie's on the board of Changely, which is like one of the #1 crypto exchanges that you can go to, and you can just exchange your coins for other coins really, really fast, really easy and simple. And so on the buying and selling side of it, so even if you're not interested in the card and you don't want to go to like one of the big exchanges like Poloniex or Bitfinex or something else, you just want to get your use your bank account or your credit card just to buy some Dash, you can go on there and it will use the Changely exchange to issue that. And the Changely exchange rate is, it always searches for the best rate possible. So I've used it a couple times, but before that I used to use Shapeshift. But the last couple times I've actually found Changely has a better result. And with Shapeshift, you're limited to how much you can exchange if you're switching up big amounts, where Changely doesn't. I don't know what the cap is, but you can actually switch up big amounts. So
yeah, I miss Circle. Circle was such a great service. But yeah, I guess they're still there, but I guess they've changed their whole thing. Because yeah, you could use your debit card, and it did take a while to get verified, but I think they allowed you like $200 just to get going, which is for people who just want to get kind of going. That was great, and then you could get verified and get more. But yeah, there hasn't been. And then the fees were like hardly nothing. So there is credit card options, but the fees are like astronomical.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't switch up currencies a lot in terms of crypto, but I've used Exodus wallet before when I was experimenting, and I didn't really like the fees on it. I think I changed up like a few $1,000s or something like that, and I just realized that if I had gone to Changely or something now, it would have been a lot easier to do that. No disrespect if you use Exodus. It's a great wallet and very beautiful to look at in terms of user experience and that sort of stuff. And if you hold multiple coins, but I'm just pure Dash baby. So I'm a Dash maximalist, so I have no need for it. But yeah.
Coinbase has credit card stuff, but I think their fees are astronomical, and I'm sure they have a cap and you have to get verified. You can probably just get a little bit. And then one other Exmo, I hate to say that because they got hacked at one time, and then I sent one Dash to their exchange. I was fixing to send a lot more. I did a one Dash to just test it. This is when Dash was not worth very much. And turns out, yeah, after they got hacked, their whole database, I guess they they had to do away with it, and they didn't bother to send out emails telling people, hey, this address that you've been using for months and months, we've changed it. And so, yeah, I lost a Dash to them, but I think that they were at one time going to have like PayPal integration. But yeah, Charlie's card should be, yeah, I'm excited about that feature too.
Which by the way, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say one cool thing that I don't know if this is the same on the 10x side. So if anyone is watching this and you have a 10x card, please can you say in the chat, one really great feature of Charlie's card is, in terms of fees, is that you can put Dash onto the card and then take Dash off back to the platform, and there's no fees at all. Now, I believe with cards like Shakepay and stuff, putting things on, taking off, there are fees involved. Now, I don't know what the case is on 10x, but I saw some people in the comments thought that was a really cool, unique feature. So from that point of view, I think that's pretty good. So if Charlie can resolve the issue of the $1 fee, because everyone always uses the coffee shop example, like I don't want to pay the $1 physical fee if I'm buying, a cup of coffee, but
yeah, it's the ultimate litmus test, right? Is this something you can use in everyday life? And coffee is about the cheapest thing that everyone will go in and actually buy in person. Like if you go to a gas station, I'm gonna get a pack of gum, right? It might be under $1 or something. No one's just gonna buy a pack of gum and leave. You get a gum, you get some chips, you get some like Slim Jims or some other horrific food. It's gonna kill you. I don't know. You do something, you have like an order together, but like people will just go and buy a coffee or two, and then that's the ultimate low end litmus test of, does this work as an everyday payment system?
Yeah, there could be a possible workaround, but I don't know if it would work. If you had it like the card on your phone somehow, and I guess it would be, ever placed it, ever's different. Not everybody takes the phone type payments, but that could be a workaround. But I don't know. It may just be anytime, because I don't know. I don't see how it's free online but not free in person. But I guess if it's at NFC, I'm guessing they would charge you $1, I guess, but I don't know. Hopefully Charlie can get that worked out.
Yeah, I have confidence that he was very interested in asking me what my opinion was, like who is his like #1 competitor, what's good, what's bad, like what do I really think? And he is generally interested. And like I said, I listen to you guys. I don't have a 10x card either. But I looked at your comments and I looked at your feedback, and I passed that on, and he's acknowledged it. I mean, if there's a way to resolve it, like I said, I don't know how much room he has to maneuver with Payzer, but I'm sure if there is a way that he can pass that fee on to the merchant, he'd be silly, not to do it, because it's what people want. And I think let's put it this way, if Charlie can put it off and do that, then I think 10x might have some problems. Like worldwide, I think 10x is going to do great, especially as me being a European. But just the US market share of cryptocurrency and interest, having Charlie's cards being printed and shipped from the US is like instrumental. You can't beat that. And plus the card's cheaper as well, right? So
the 10x feature I like though is that they're going to have instant send integration. And you're not going to have to hold your money, on the third party, like I guess you would with Charlie's card. So you can basically be standing in line to get your proverbial coffee, instant send it to the 10x card, and, cash out right there. There's just a very small window of time that your Dash actually has to be held by a third party. I don't think anything's going to happen with Charlie's card or Payzer or anything. It's just nice to have it, the more decentralization, the better.
Yeah, definitely. It's like competition. It's like people always say, oh, I prefer Mac, I prefer PC. I say, I'm a tech enthusiast. The more competition, the more innovation. So, and also they're going to get more price competitive. So it's better for us. So the more competitive they get, the better it's going to be.
In the eternal words of Amanda B. Johnson, may the currency competition be with you. Which, speaking of which, someone in the live chat said, R.I.P. Amanda. She's not freaking dead, guys. Come on. She's just not making your YouTube videos. Does that mean she's dead to you? All she was a YouTube monkey for you? I mean, come on, get real. She's doing fine. She's pursuing her own dreams and goals, and she still loves Dash.
Did she say she may be back? She had, I think she had health issues, and she's going to get that worked out, and then
we'll see. I think she's focusing. I think
she left the window open.
I think she's focusing on the health issues and might start making videos and stuff about that. Like she might, follow her career somewhere else. That's the thing about Amanda from all the years I've known her, is she is extremely pure person in terms of whatever is on her mind, whatever is important in her life, she follows that 100%. And so like when she found out about Dash, she just went all in. When she found out about crypto, she just went all in. And then now this is something on her mind, she's just going all in. And that's something you can really, really trust about what she's doing is, I know people used to call her a paid shill because she was like the one big voice for Dash, but she is the opposite of a paid shill. She does not have it in, I guess, the mental capacity to be just like a dishonest person or like and I'm saying this as I'm a very direct person as well, but even I can kind of keep part of my feelings a little quiet. She just like, bam, it's there.
Yeah, I saw her on the back in the day. Yeah, just what you were saying, Joel. I saw her do the same thing with Ron Paul. She kind of dabbled in there, and then she just went balls deep. And yeah, she was all about the Ron Paul and going to all the events and everything else. And so yeah, when she focuses on something, she really focuses on it. Yeah. All right, I want to wrap us up so we don't go like crazy time again. Any more questions in the chat?
I haven't seen. I will give a shout out to Kim in the live chat. So way back again when I moved to New Hampshire, one of my buddies, Forrest, he's also known as Forrest in the Dash Nation Slack. He's been a long time crypto holder, like big Bitcoin fan since like 2010 or so, and he's a big Dash fan here in New Hampshire. A good friend of mine convinced his brother and their family to move as well, and so now their mom listens to the Three Amigos. So yes, grandma, right? I hope I don't annoy you by saying that, Kim, but yes, anyway, yeah, it's just interesting the kind of people we have, the spectrum of people we have listening into the show.
We have the best community.
The best.
How many viewers do we have? How many viewers do we have live?
About 40.
How many?
Nice.
About 40 right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad we're out of the single digits. I remember there was a few times when I was trying hard to promote the podcast, and then we had like single digit, which thank you single digit people for jumping in there. But I'm glad that we're growing because apparently we're doing something right. And that's the thing about this thing. This was never I'll wrap up my contribution to this with a little, oh yeah. And Kim says, awesome, proud grandma, all in. We're moving up there soon too, we hope. Well, hope to have you here, that one of the Dash capitals of the world. But anyway, as I was just saying, I remember I was on Free Talk Live for the whole 3-hour segment a few months ago, and then there was some Monero troll that came in and just yelling at stuff, which, by the way, we have a Monero fan in the comments, but he likes both Dash and Monero. Seems like a nice guy. Shout out the bad virus. Anyway, so then Brian called in to Free Talk Live, and we had a little discussion that kind of brought out, hey, we should do a podcast. And it wasn't, oh, we should do a serious show that covers all these news topics. It was just, let's just all get on and, shoot the breeze. And we had, I guess, for my part, very few expectations at all. Just let's do this. This is going to be a fun thing. It's going to let the community know what we're up. It's more of like a report on accountability, almost, of like, what are we up to with, what are we doing with all those Masternode funds, right? We're talking about what we're doing. And then it just ended up being this thing that now we have a lot of cool people on and we have listeners. So I am very grateful to all our listeners because I never thought we'd get this like quite this far this quickly.
Yeah, I remember that we had been talking about the podcast and stuff for a while. We've just been kind of dragging our feet. And then you went on that Free Talk Live and you said, yeah, you guys should call in. I was like, I don't know. I want to be anonymous. And then that Monero troll called in and he was trolling, and I thought, no, that's not going to fly. And I did call in, and that just got me excited about doing the podcast and stuff. One thing I wanted to say about our YouTube, we haven't done any ads yet. We probably will. The reason that we've seen a huge spike, I think, recently is because of Mark's show. Excellent show, the weekly recap. I don't miss an episode. I'm looking forward to see what he's got this day. It keeps getting better and better. So let's see what happens.
No pressure. I think subscriber wise, we've just gone over 1,200. I am starting to look into YouTube ads, but the thing is, with YouTube, it's a bit weird. Like, you get those videos and you get like the skip ad buttons and that sort of stuff. Like, I'm not sure. And the thing is, literally since the weekly recap show started, the things just boosted. Things with the Free Amigos podcast, I love it because it's more downtime, and the more FaceTime we have with each other, the better we work as a team. But it also gives us a chance to speak with you, listen to your questions, and it grounds us and it brings us all together. Some people hate the Free Amigos, says it goes on for too long. Can you can you condense it? And obviously with guests, sometimes it's a bit difficult, especially when you've got the questions and stuff coming in. But thank you. Episode 12, I think we're doing great. And thank you to our loyal people that keep coming in and asking the same questions, because a lot of the time you don't realize, but you actually encourage us on what sometimes we might write in the next week, topics, questions. So like, we're here to deliver the best high quality content we can for you. So so make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you follow us on the YouTube channel, if you just follow our news channel, don't forget we have a Telegram channel which is growing as well. So if you want notifications of every news publication that comes out, as soon as it's published, you can get that notification sent to your phone. And if you want the link to that, if you go to dashforcenews.com, on the sidebar on the right-hand side, there's a Telegram link. If you click on that, then it will prompt you to sign up to Telegram. Then you'll end up downloading an app, whether you're on iOS or Android, and then you'll be in our channel. And then every time an article comes out, you'll get a lovely notification. So you'll never miss an article.
Cool. Well, definitely thanks to all our viewers, subscribers, and other buddies. And we're going to do, this is just the start.
Yes. So, okay. So for once, I think in about like 6 episodes now, we're going to end on time. We always aim for like 45 minutes to an hour, but recently with the guests and stuff, we've always gone a bit over time, only because of the high caliber core team member guests that we've been having. So like, we don't want to let them go. We want to get as much info out of them as possible. But thank you for everyone for joining us. And if you're watching this and you're not live, still drop a comment in the comments below. We still we read them, and we will get back to you if you've got questions. And and if you haven't subscribed by now, what are you waiting for? Hit that button. So so this is a goodbye for me, and I'll hopefully see you maybe Sunday with the weekly recap. Well, I record it tomorrow, but you guys will see it Sunday. And hopefully you guys will tune in for episode 13. Guys, you wanna sign out?
That's it. Next week's guest will be Satoshi Nakamoto. Tune in.
He's gonna do the He's gonna do the Batman.
Craig Wright.
Yes, and if you listen, he's going to be reading off the private keys to his hoard live. So you got to listen in. He's going to be verbally saying, you have to jot it down. Then you get all those Bitcoins. Just saying. And those Bitcoin caches.
Yeah.
Split since then. Just saying.
Okay.
Free money.
Toshi, next time on. Nakamoto himself. All right. Peace out, guys. I'm taking off.
Okay. So on that note, same bat time, same bat channel. See you all next week. Stay dashy. Catch you later.